goddamn button.
Cut the intro. So, guys, we're here. So, guys, now we are actually waiting for Abdullahi and Eddie. So they should hopefully be on their way. So we're here. Now, I was bullied into doing this by the man to my... Wait, is it? Yeah, so by the man to my left.
You had it right.
By the man over there. I was bullied into this. So I think we could just kick things off by just talking about where Chelsea are currently and where Chelsea are fully going, and then hopefully during the next hour or so we'll obviously be joined by because Abdullahi says that his head is hot. So the one thing is,
that's why we're in hell. We're in hell right now.
We're in hell. Actually, when did this show officially launch? Was that the Arsenal 3-1 game, Lampard, in December?
We did a show by ourselves, and then I couldn't make it for whatever reason, and then Eddie and Abdullahi joined up. So I don't know. I don't even remember. We'd have to go back. Somebody who's watching, maybe go find the first complicated show. Yeah. I don't remember, but we did a bunch of episodes. I don't remember when the last one was, but I definitely don't remember when the first one was.
Oh my God. So, guys, so in the group, we have like a group chat of complicated shows. So I said in the group chats, yo, guys, we're up and everything. Where were you? Abdullahi responded saying, I was cooking. That's why. Abdullahi, if you're listening, hurry. Actually, let me ask you this guy. Hurry. Wait, hold on. Let me just say, hurry the heck up. All right. So look, so while this guy is cooking and is on his way, we've got your boy, Eddie. Eddie. You there. You're in the office?
Not in the office, yeah, but it's just been the madness this morning. I'm just on my way, but yeah.
He's in the car. He's in the car.
Okay, in the car. Bro, don't crash, bro. Don't crash for life, bro.
I'm all good.
Okay, so look, I think so. Did you watch the video then? The Boehly Clearlake video. I got about halfway through that video.
About the same.
So look, I suppose I could just pose a question. Are you so surprised by the rifts between both parties that were here, with the fact that, because based on just what has happened since Abramovich left, 12th place, the upheaval, the signings of orphans being ripped away from their families, are you surprised by there now being a rift between both of these parties?
In a way, yes. In a way, no. So I'll cut the baby.
How the heck are you not going? How the heck are you not surprised?
Well, because if you understand the nature of how the sale happened, it had to happen so quickly that Boehly just needed to find somebody who could front him the money. So, is it strange bedfellows, I guess is one of the sayings that people use. Like the condition of Abramovich selling created weird partnerships in trying to create enough money that the British government would be like, okay, that's enough money to be sold. So, Boehly just probably went around looking like, where can I find the money? And the people who have the money are private equity groups, which is what Clearlake Capital is. So I can kind of understand how people who weren't friends or partners or business people before, you're just throwing yourselves together and hoping that it works. Sometimes that can make good relationships where people don't know each other and they can just meet and they click for whatever reason. But in other instances, you might find, I don't like the way this person works. I don't like their attitude. I don't like the path that they're going down. So in that sense, yeah, like I can understand how that particular relationship didn't work. Isn't working.
Now that you said that, do you know what I think? I think Boehly thought, let me just get some guys to front some money, private equity firm. They're a private equity firm. They wouldn't care about football. They'll leave everything to me. But I think based on how badly that first season went, that's what they said, you know what? We're not actually used to this whole football stuff, but maybe we actually need to step in. So I think that disastrous first season is what messed everything up, because they were like, okay, we're a private equity firm. We know nothing about football or sports, but we did so badly in that first season, maybe we now need to step. So by them stepping in, they've now come at loggerheads with regards to the direction of where the club should now go. Because you have one guy who is like, okay, I messed up with the first season, and now I'm trying to make it up for my first season. Another group who are like, because you messed up, we feel we now need to now step in. So, Eddie, so thoughts on? Are you surprised by the rifts between these two crew, Clearlake and Todd B?
I'm not really surprised as well, and you also have to look at it in the sense that you're partnering up with a private equity firm, and what is the one thing that they're big on? It's profit.
Profit.
Right? So not only are Chelsea not doing well, you're losing money as well. Because you can review every decision Todd Boehly made in the first season. It's basically led to a loss. You look at the buying Koulibaly, Aubameyang, Raheem Sterling, giving Graham Potter a 6-year contract. Like, can someone find one decision from that first season that's actually turned out okay?
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised, because if it's yourself for me as well, if I'm investing 60% of 2.5 billion, I think it's about 1.5 billion. If I'm investing 1.5 billion of my money in there, and I see you playing with my money because you've only invested, say, 300-400 million, hey, it's time for me to step in and show or do something about it. So I'm not surprised by the rift at all, bro. It's just, yeah, it's just been a little interesting seeing the reports. I haven't followed it fully, but yeah, nothing about this surprises me, to be honest, given one result to the money involved as well.
The only thing that surprised me is that how public this has gotten. Like, why do we know that there's a rift between the different owners? That's the surprising part. That there is a rift or would be a rift, that's not surprising. But that people know about it and it's something to discuss on podcasts and in news articles, that is surprising. So who's leaking the stories of, like, we don't rock with this dude, or I don't rock with them? Like, how is this getting out? That's the strange bit.
My thing, remember, it's all about narrative and perception. So someone leaked it. If you're Boehly and you're like, how can I get the people on my side? The fans, the notion on my side. If I leak it, because literally, when it first leaked, I was following the news, and guys were saying, oh, this is who Boehly signed, this is who Clearlake signed. Or Boehly is the guy that did all this. So basically, all the bad stuff, they said it was all Clearlake. All the good stuff was all Todd Boehly. So once you now have that, that gives you a bit of leverage to now say, I can now bow you guys out. Because obviously, we'll get to who can win out in the whole buyout. But I do feel that, now, I don't know how much it will change. Because, okay, let's say, for instance, Boehly leaked it to now try and get the fans on his side. That doesn't matter. Because Clearlake are like, I believe Clearlake can generate more money than Todd Boehly. And for Boehly, how stubborn are you going to be? If they said, okay, we're going to give you 2 bill, 2.5, 3, are you going to be like, no, are you going to stay? Like, now, I don't think can Clearlake force Boehly out? Can they force him out? How? Legally?
Well, Clearlake have 60% already.
Yeah.
Then there's other minority owners, so they could go to the Vice guy, Weiss, and Goldberg. I forget, Joshua something. That's like a Spurs fan. They could buy him, and then if they get from 60 to 65, 66, 70, we already have 70%. So then we can just leverage that 70% that we already own over your 30, 40, whatever, however much Boehly owns. So they're big bank. And big bank takes little bank is the saying. So I could see it, but the question for Clearlake is, do we see this as being profitable in the short term, medium term, and long term? If they're saying, this might take 5, 6, 7 years in order to get them back on track, they might just take however many billions Boehly can generate and be like, we tried and it's just not going to be in our portfolio. The worry, I guess, for Chelsea fans is, what if Egbali and Feliciano actually like the idea of owning a football club, and rather than being bankers or private equity people, they're like, oh no, they're enticed by the idea of having like sporting things in their in their control. That's a worry for me because they're not football people, they're not sporting people.
No.
But they could get lured into kind of power, essentially.
So okay, so let me other things. So I'll come to you, Daniel, then I'll come to you, Eddie. So best case scenario, who would be best to take charge? Because again, the obvious thing is Boehly. Now, here's my thing. I'd want Bram back, but I was
gonna say, can it start in A and end in itch?
Yeah, I mean, can we get the itch back? Because I'm just saying, like, that really, like, if you're Roman, you're laughing right now. Because if you're Roman, you're like, literally, since I've left, everything has just gone to crap completely. Everything has just gone to crap. So if you're Roman, you're completely laughing at the whole scenario. But, so am I right in saying that, because you just touched upon it, it's Boehly. Yes, he made many mistakes. Not everything he did was good, but Dodgers, LA Sparks, he has a sporting background. He actually understands sports. As opposed to, these guys are just pure money merchants, are pure bankers. So, are you saying that best case scenario, if all is fair, if we had to choose one freaking dude, it would be...
Yeah. Of the, I guess, two options, even though I know
it's like a consortium, yeah.
Boehly is probably the better option, but that doesn't make him a good option if there's nuance there. So he's the best of the worst. He's the lesser evil, if we want to use a political. So I would say Boehly's probably the lesser of two evils. But ideally, you wouldn't want to choose evil, right? You would want to choose somebody that actually has an idea of what to do.
Okay, let me tell you something. Is there
in
a scenario
sense
where they both eat each other out and they both leave? But is there a scenario where like both of them
do
both...
what?
Okay, no, okay, whoa, okay, not like that. Okay, is there a scenario? Guys, you know what I mean. Okay, is there a scenario where...
Cut that bitch off.
No.
Cut that bitch off.
Okay, I'm just saying, is there a scenario where both of them, like, and I can now see the comments just going crazy now. Is there a scenario where, like, you see both of them are like, nah, man. Like, they get into such an argument, they both can't agree, and they both sort of just pretty much tear each other apart.
Maybe?
Because I'm trying to think that, is there a third option? Because it's just to say, hey, either Egbali wins or Boehly wins, but is there an option 3?
Oh, no. I don't think there's an option 3.
Nah, there isn't, because they can't sell the club for 10 years.
They have to own that group. One of those consortium have to own the club for 10 years, isn't it, Eddie?
Yeah. So they've got to own the club for 10 years. So
oh, yes.
One of them's got to be on. It's a binding contract for the next, I think, 7 years left.
Yeah.
So, yeah, someone's got to win.
Okay, so Eddie, in your view, you are Team Boehly.
I'm Team no one.
Yeah.
Look, based on the reports, and you don't know what's true and what's not, right? I think there are ideas that you can agree with from either side, and if you have to come to a compromise, it's just get yourselves in the room and work this stuff out, man. But if you can't do that, I don't know how to choose. I really don't know how to choose, because I'm sorry, that first season from Boehly, making himself director of football, sacking Tuchel after spending 300+ million, buying players who never worked out. And now I'm hearing stuff about reading an 18-page report on why we should sack Poch last year, but he wanted to veto that. Like, yes, like, Boehly doesn't have any footballing ideas, but Boehly ain't looking good either.
But that's what's like. We are dealing with two evils. We're dealing with two bricks here. But I think that as bad as Boehly is and as crazy as the decisions he made, would you want... Because it's sort of like, it's a Sophie's choice. Would you want it in the hands of pure bankers who have no sporting background? Because I believe, from what I'm reading, I believe all these youngsters being bought, all those orphans being bought, that's the Clearlake view?
I mean, my answer will be who controlled this window this year, because whoever was in charge of this window is probably one of the better windows I'll say so far. They can take it going forward. I don't mind the idea of bankers running the club. I mean, you buy orphans, you buy kids, and all that kind of stuff. But with the idea that we want to make money, we want to make profit, the only way you do that is if you generate success, right? Without success, this whole thing goes down the drain real quick.
Heck no. Yeah.
That is probably where I'll probably side with Boehly and the bankers or the private equity firms, because I know that they want the money to work for them. They want to get something out of their investment, and they are gonna invest until they get that happen, right? So, and we've already seen the reports about Boehly winning Champions League and Sporting success and all that kind of stuff. So that is probably where I'll side with them. Yeah, Boehly. Again, it's picking the lesser of two evils. None of them are ideal, but yeah.
But see now, a point that I actually thought of when I discussed it with some other people. So, Glazers, they owned the Tampa Bay Bucks in '95. FSG, I can't remember who they owned before, but I think they owned the Sporting people from before. Oh, the Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Kroenke, is it the Rams and the Denver Nuggets?
Yeah.
So I believe Clearlake are the only owners in the Premier League without any previous sporting history. And that is what is fearful. So yes, they want something on investments. Yes, they want to not be profitable. But when I heard Boehly was going into the dressing room to address players, I'm like, mate, to do what? Like, I've read this guy's history. He's a pure banker. So, Boehly, you're going in there to say what to them? Because my thing is that, for what I would like to ask Boehly is that, do you actually watch sports? Do you like sports? Do you have any interest in sports? If you have no interest in it, to just have a general understanding of sporting achievements, running a sporting team, even if you don't know the nitty-gritty of the sport and the tactical and strategy, also have a general love for it is at least warranted. My fear is I'm looking at all of these guys, the Swiss dude, Feliciano, these guys may just be pure bankers who maybe you like sport on a very casual level. So if you leave Chelsea in the hands of these dudes, are we effed, Danny?
I mean, Eddie has a point in the sense of, in order for the money to work, the football has to be a winning brand of football. And if your ultimate interest as a banker is money, then you understand in order to make money, we need to win. But I think everybody understands that already. It's not as if people buy football clubs to lose. They obviously buy football clubs because they think they can help, they can make them winners, whatever the case may be. It's how do you get there knowing that that's what you need to do? And who do you trust to get you there? I don't trust either party. They've shown no evidence. So you could say if the first window was Boehly, it was an error. I mean, you bought Aubameyang, you bought Koulibaly, you bought all these players for a manager that you then sack in September. So clearly, whatever's going on, you don't have a great grasp of how football's supposed to work. I mean, and then like you put Raheem Sterling on a contract of £325,000 a week or whatever it is, which is hard to shift. Yeah. So now they've gone, well, isn't his manager 3, 4? So you start with Tuchel, you go to Potter, that fails. You go Lampard, that fails. You go Poch, that's not working. So now it's Maresca, so number 5.
Are we counting Bruno? That Bruno dude, that was definitely one.
I mean, it was one game. It was one game. But if we want to count him, it's 6. It shows that there may have been a plan at the beginning, but there's no plan now, or at least the person who's doing the plans has changed, or the people who are doing the plans has changed. So it's hard to know where one stops and where one begins. So where did Boehly's influence start to decline? And where does Clearlake come in? Maybe there's a journalist article, something out there that actually outlines it was October the 19th of 2023 or something like that. But if if Eddie's correct, I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
But I feel like, well, go for it, bro.
No, I was just about to say, Boehly's influence probably started to decline last season. I think that was the straw for Igbali going, look, we've lost way too much for me to just not be involved. And I think that's when we started to see Igbali as well with the working with the sporting directors. I firmly believe Igbali had a big hand in this window, in my opinion.
For sure.
Boehly,
Yeah.
Boehly
He was
took
at a lot of the
a bit
preseason
a bad
games.
step. Yeah. Because he kind of looked at it as, look, Boehly, you're supposed to be the sporting guy here, man. We've let you be the face of this whole thing for that long. How can you mess this up this badly? Going through 5 managers and weird contracts that you gave certain players, that's not being talked about enough. You can't move Kua right now because you gave him a 200k plus contract extension. You gave Fofana 200k plus. Reece James, yes, his quality, but again, you gave him 200k plus.
Yeah.
Like, these are decisions that Boehly's camp has made. And again, I'm not saying I'm all for Igbali, but I can understand why all of a sudden Igbali is now taking, because from the reports, Igbali is all of a sudden now interested in football and wants to know certain things. By the way, he said the 4-4-3. He was the one that done the 4-4-3, man. Can we just agree on that?
Wait, so you're saying it was Igbali, not Boehly, who did 4-4-3?
Yeah. Igbali has to be the 4-4-3.
Okay, but no, okay, so
hold on, wait.
Oh, yeah.
It only makes sense.
Breaking chaos.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, damn, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I forgot it. I'll remember later.
Okay, let me quickly get on those.
Oh, I got it. So, who signed Mudryk?
I'm saying Igbali.
So Boehly did it. So that was first window, right?
It was Clearlake. People said it was. People said that Enzo was Boehly and Mudryk was Clearlake. But I don't know what to believe.
No, that was the second window, right? So you finish your first window, you're about to get the director of footballs in, and you get Mudryk in January.
Yeah. So you're saying that both Mudryk and Enzo was were Boehly signings.
So if that's the case, if Mudryk was a Boehly signing, then it does kind of show. And I'm just using him as an example because he's one of the ones that they put on like a 8-year, 9-year contract, whatever it is. There are consistent through lines between both signing periods, if you will, like the Clearlake signings and the Boehly signings, if you will, that maybe they might disagree on the type of player, but the mechanisms that they're using to sign the players is the same. They still want them to sign long-ass contracts, amortize the money. I think I read somewhere that the average squad wage is around £60,000 a week.
60,000, yeah.
How do you create a winning team with players who are making £60,000 a week? How do you do that? Like, what standard or quality of player would take 60 racks a week?
Yeah.
Aha.
Oh yeah.
So even if the targets that they go for are different people, if everybody needs to be sandwiched into this wage structure, I don't see how you can eventually make the winning team to make the money. Because Man City aren't regulating themselves to £60,000 a week players.
Hell no.
Liverpool aren't doing it. Arsenal aren't doing it. Manchester United even aren't doing it. So, and Newcastle are the kind of sleeping giant that we don't know just how far the Saudi investment is going to go there. But Chelsea could be easily 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th for years if 60,000 is your average. And think about it. If 60,000 is the average, that means if somebody's being paid 80, that there's another person being paid 40. So
let me ask a question. So can Clearlake still be profitable without Chelsea winning trophies? Or do Chelsea need to win trophies for Clearlake to be happy in their investments?
You know, that's an interesting question.
That's what I want to know.
The Premier League makes money just because it can print money. It's the biggest league in the world. So really, you just need to maintain your place within the league, and if you're not spending beyond your means, whatever
Cutting
those
costs
means
via
are,
wages are not too high.
you could say you're making profit, which would look good to the people who've invested in your private equity firm, and that you don't need to win. You could just maintain a place and just keep collecting whatever the Premier League's growth is. So you don't have to win. It would be nice though, you know.
They don't have to win. They just need Champions League participation. They just need to be a top 4, top 5, maybe top 8 side, stay in Europe, and they'll stay profitable.
Wait. I mean, Eddie, is your mic working? Sorry, is your camera operational?
He's in the car,
but
bro.
Sorry. The guy.
Give me about 10 minutes, man.
All right, okay, cool. Mr. Guy cooking jollof on pandediam, Abdullahi, that's what he told me. Is your camera working?
It's working, but right now at the moment I won't be able to put it. But I'm trying to set up.
Bro, he's eating, bro. He just cooked.
Abdullahi, are you
Let
currently
the
eating?
people drive.
Abdullahi, are you currently eating?
AJ, I'm married, so I have to cook. Relax. So relax.
I was gonna respond. No, Daddy, don't. No, Daddy, don't even do this. Daddy, don't, because you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Unless I'm saying nothing. It's 2024. It's a different world. I'm saying nothing. It's a different world. I'm saying nothing. I would like Clearlake or Boehly. Who would you rather go with? Who's right?
Clearlake.
Fix your mic, bro. Fix your mic.
I'll go for Clearlake.
Why?
Okay, I have a lot of things to say about this because I've seen some Chelsea fan base like want to go for Todd Boehly because he's a proper Chelsea. That's what they said. He's a proper Chelsea. He speaks like Chelsea. I'm like, okay, relax here. See, I understand Boehly clearly have made a lot of mistakes. We cannot deny that they have made a lot of mistakes, which need to be rectified as soon as possible. They have made a lot of mistakes, but what I'm gonna just say is you can have an ambition ownership who is spending this sort of money without having an ambition of winning. That's being stupid by telling the fans, we want to spend this money, we're not going to win. So if you look at the first summer, when we bought Sterling, Aubameyang, all those kind of players, those players are on big wages, which I'm like, you're giving them players big wages, but they're not going to spend less than 1 or 2 years in the club and they're out of the club. So I think then there was a little bit of a Tuchel with the sanction, Tuchel and everything. Now, after Tuchel and everything, then again, you have to no sporting director and everything. So I think the following season, I think January, that was when the Lawrence Stewart, Paul Wilson and Cook came into the club. And I think that was when they started changing their philosophy in terms of, no. We're not going to spend big on players. We're going to go to youth, improve them together and make them superstars, which is not bad in what they are doing. It's not bad in what they're doing. But if you want to bring in a youth academy player, if you want to bring in under 19, 20, 23 players, you have to bring in qualities, not just players on the quality. And if you look at the players they've signed, Gusto, all of them are quality players, but they are young. So you need an experienced old head who can coordinate those teams together. And that was why I was like,
so where are the older players then? Where's the experience? Where's the experience in the team?
Why do you allow Thiago Silva to leave? Because that's one of the most experienced players in that team.
Because he's 40?
Why do you allow him to leave? Why? That's my big issue with that. Why do I allow him to leave?
So, okay, he's muted.
Because my concern is because there was I don't know if I said it last year. After the United match, when we played them in Old Trafford, that was when I knew Boehly and Egbali are having a problem. I knew that from the start. I was like, why is Egbali and Boehly having a problem? Because both of them are listening together. They always have a shot and everything. I was like, why is there a disconnection between them? What is going on? That was when I knew that, okay, I think serious problem is happening in this club that need to be rectified. So I wasn't surprised when I saw the news, they are fighting. HH, this is my question to Hotel. The match going fans that are going there, majority of them, some of them I know them, and some I don't want to mention them. I don't want to go there.
Roy Jennings.
Yeah, no comments. The match going fans. Shout out to you, brother. Carefree, Lewis, and Co. These are match going fans. Steven and everybody. These are match going fans. Actually, this is my question to them. In 2016-17, I went to Atlanta in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to do my project in construction management. That stadium is very beautiful. That was my first time in life going to Atlanta to go and see the Mercedes-Benz. That was a beautiful stadium. And everybody wants to build a new stadium where he wants to build a SoFi Stadium. Do you know how much SoFi Stadium? That stadium is very. Daniel lives in Atlanta. He will be able to elaborate more on the SoFi Stadium. That stadium is very beautiful. The architecture they kind of hired. The architecture they kind of hired. Sorry, the architecture they kind of hired is the one is the one that did the SoFi Stadium and the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So Chelsea members are crying that they don't want to leave Stamford Bridge. They don't want to leave Stamford Bridge, but when they put high money on the ticket price, they started crying. We don't have money. There's a session. Why do you put money? Excuse me. You don't want to move away from Stamford Bridge, but when they put high money on the ticket, they started crying. Why are you crying? Because you don't want to leave the bridge. The ownership are doing 70 plus, 80 plus attendance for Stamford Bridge to be one of the biggest in London. So everybody's crying. They want to move away from Stamford. People are started crying, and I'm like, why? Because it doesn't make any sense. For me, no sense in it. And Boehly has said it. He wants to give the marching right of Stamford Bridge to the women. Chelsea women have done a lot than the boys. The Chelsea ladies have done in the last 7-8 years. They have dominated for a very long time. While the boys has been messing up. So. Is there a crime for everybody giving the naming right to the women's team? No, there's no crime in it because they actually deserve it. They literally deserve it. So I don't know why the fan base are crying out. They're crying. We don't want to leave Stamford Bridge, but when the high ticket money start crying for what?
Wait. So Abdullahi, you want Clearlake because they'll build a beautiful stadium that's like the one in Atlanta.
I want Clearlake because I'm tired and sick of Stamford Bridge, and we need to get the heck out. Everybody's talking about.
Hold up.
Yes, he's mad at the stadium.
How?
What?
He said, how?
Wait. I'm like, so the only reason, nothing about football, winning UCLs, winning the league, the only reason you want Clearlake is because you want to leave Stamford Bridge? That's the only reason.
Apart from Stamford Bridge, if you look at yes, they are private AKOT. They may not know too much about football, and we might have questioned their decision making in terms of but they're brought in the football people here. Lawrence Stewart, Wesley, Sam Jones, and what's his name of this guy in Manchester City, Joe Shield. Those are footballing people that kind of get involved about football. So I look at the wages. Look at the wages in Chelsea now. It is reduced massively, 70% increment in terms of if you do well in if you qualify for Champions League and you do well. Your wages is gonna go high, which is not bad. But again, am I gonna say Stamford Bridge has like 40-something sitters when I'm seeing Arsenal has 60 plus?
Wait. Okay, let's leave this statement on. Let's talk football. Footballing wise, which owner will do best for Chelsea in terms of us trying to win trophies and do well on the pitch? Footballing wise,
for me, I'll go with Boehly.
Why?
I don't know because if we are talking about winning Champions League, winning Champions League, we are talking about winning Champions League, Premier League, but you have to still spend money. What is that chance that if you go for Boehly, you will spend a lot because Boehly will need investors. You know that he only has minority stake. He will need investors. Well, everybody keeps shouting, "We want Victor Osimhen." What is that chance that if you bring in Boehly, we're gonna get Victor Osimhen because we might actually turn to Arsenal 2.0 about Kroenke. When we do, everybody's saying we are about broke. When actually,
okay, you're saying that with Egbal. So you believe that with Egbali we will win trophies and we will do better footballing wise under Clearlake?
Yes, both under Clearlake, both on and off in terms of footballing and other commercial and everything, we do very well because those are they are business people, but also they are very intelligent and smart too when it comes to managing revenues and commercial. Manchester City.
You know all these guys just said business, not anything about football. Speak football, my friend.
We are talking about Champions League and Premier League and everything. I understand that, but do you want a manager who is broke? Sorry, an ownership who is broke, who doesn't have money, or you want someone that?
Wait. I'm like, what about both? So you're saying that for sure. If we get Boehly, we will be broke. So you guarantee that if we have Boehly, we're going to be broke.
What I'm saying is, if you get Boehly, the amount of money the Clearlake capital will be spent is going to be different than what Boehly will be spending because he's a minority stakeholder. He's a minority. So we'll have to rely on investors to spend money. Unlike Clearlake, who doesn't need to rely on investors to spend money. They do not need to. They have their own money. So if you look at the squad, the way the squad is being built already, the way it's being built, just a little bit of few pieces that need to be put together.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so Daniel, from what Abdullah is saying, can you see his Clearlake arguments?
Am I honest?
Please be honest.
I'm not following exactly the line that Abdullah is taking. So maybe I would need to hear like Abdullah, can you say in like 1 or 2 sentences why you believe in Clearlake? Like if you could make it really short.
Okay, the reason I believe in Clearlake is for me in terms of the sporting aspect, both on and off, commercial revenue, the footballing aspect, and also the stadium too. I believe more in Clearlake because I've seen what they do in terms of the player acquisition, like player like Gusto, all those kind of players with this. Those are Ekbali signing that can gel together and
That's a lie.
But when you understand Ronaldo, you understand this. That doesn't work because we also have to understand we have to balance the book with the era of.
So I'm like, so you believe in these youth guys, these prospects, these young players? You believe in that?
I believe in youth level. You have to buy youth level with the qualities, and this level, players, they are quality players. But the problem is, you need to mix quality with experience. And everybody's been shouting experience. Please, can someone tell me, experience without quality? That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
What about a mixture of experience and youth? How about that?
Yes, but okay.
No, wait. I'm like, you realize that there's never been a club, and there will never be a club in history who will have a transfer strategy like Chelsea, where you only buy young players and you have no senior players. The oldest player at Chelsea, I believe, is Chilwell, who's not even in the squad.
But actually, we've gotten experience like Sterling and Co. What have they given Chelsea? Zero. You tell me, boss Sterling.
No, you buy experience with quality. So you're saying there are no players in football right now that are experienced, but that are good. Sometimes some transfers turn bad. It doesn't mean that's because those guys were bad. You now only go for younger people.
But the problem is actually, yes, their experience and quality they are in the world football. When we go into the market, you can buy them. But you have to understand something again. You can't just buy just because of buying sake. You have to use your brain when you buy stuff and be intelligent when you buy. You have to be smart. This team for me is not a terrible team. Yes, you can have experience to it, but to what level? Because I want quality and experience. I don't do more than experience. Everybody has an experience. Sterling is 29 and he's on 25. That's an experienced player who is crap. Who is garbage.
Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, we have to move. Let me just hit the doors and I want to move on to some other topics. So shout out to Samasi, man. Memphis 33 ones. Thank you, Samasi. Better comeback than Jesus. London Cowboy Civil War. That's crazy. Shout out to Samasi. That's crazy, man. It's fair. Not hiring Nagelsmann after Potter made no sense. Bro, I remember when I went to the bridge and I was interviewing fans. I said, Enrique or Nagelsmann. Those are the two, Enrique or Nagelsmann. These guys made Nagelsmann was ready to take the job, and these guys made Nagelsmann away. Say, oh no, we'll get back to you. Nagelsmann, boom, take a hike. But you see, that's linked into our next topic. So shout out to Elijah, man. Thank you for the dope, man. I was in London. Hey, we met up in London, man. Elijah, nice to see you. I found that Chelsea plays in Fulham. Why not actually move to Chelsea, Kings Road, or Kensington? Chelsea has reached supporters to fund the move. There's no space. Now, obviously,
I have a lot to say about that, but no comments.
I mean, that's why they're trying to move to because Elscourt is a lot bigger. There's no space in Kensington. Kensington is all built up. There's no space there.
Isn't it the Chelsea pitch owners? Isn't that another hurdle? Like, because the Chelsea fans own the pitch, so they own the name.
So Daniel, I want to now talk about your boy Poch. Uh-oh. So this is a double-barreled question.
My boy, okay.
He's now obviously the manager of USA.
I hope they lose every game.
Oh, wow. Ose Kanisik, but the Donzelli Knights. Now, I was wrong. So the first question is, were you Poching or Poch out? Were you happy for him to go, or did you want him to stay? Secondly, do you believe the reports that Boehly was a Poch guy?
And he's at training.
I can see the kids. So do you believe that? So were you Poch out, and do you believe that Poch was a Boehly guy and he was sacked because Egbali took more control?
I was indifferent to Pochettino. I think by the second half of the season, you could see there were improvements. But when you buy a bunch of young players, I feel like improvement is almost inevitable because they're playing more games, they're getting to know each other. And if you buy them of a certain quality, like all Madueke needs to do is play more football. It doesn't matter where or with who or what. I feel like he'll improve his level. You just have to trust that he'll play. Jackson is another one. The more he plays, the better he'll get. The ceiling, I don't know where that is, but like the more they play, the better. Caicedo, the more they play, the better, et cetera, et cetera. You can go down the line. So I don't know if the improvement is just more a natural maturation of individual players, or if it was something that Pochettino was doing specifically to get them to increase the levels of improvement that would happen already. I don't know. But that being said, if Pochettino, by the end, you could tell Pochettino in the press conferences, he was fed up with whatever was going on above him. So, it's a consistent through line at this point. With Potter, who got fed up, Tuchel was clearly fed up, Pochettino fed up. So
what do you think he was fed
they
up
hired
with, though?
somebody. Just the whole situation, like there's not enough place for all the players to train. Maybe I'm not getting enough input. The questions I'm getting about who's coming in, who's coming out, all of those different things. I think Pochettino was just kind of overwhelmed, maybe, or just the general climate around Chelsea is overwhelming with all of the upheaval and the plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, all of the things converging at once. It's a complicated thing to get a grasp of. And every week you're in front of a press conference, maybe even twice a week, 3 times a week sometimes. There's reporters in your face. What do you think about this? Do you think this player should stay? Do you think this player should go? What's the future of this? What's the future of that? I could see how that could get quite annoying. Even Maresca got those questions, and he's going to keep getting those questions. So it's just, I feel like Maresca coming from Leicester and without a reputation that certainly Pochettino and Tuchel carried, he's more happy to be a yes man. And I think that's ultimately what the Boehly, Clearlake, both sides, I think that's what they want in a manager. So for Pochettino, you leave with, at least you can leave with your head held high, because at the end of the year, they were winning games and you could say, oh, I was improving. It's kind of like what Jose can do with that cup final where he got sacked before Man City. He could always say, they sacked me before the cup final. Spurs are losers. He can always have that. And I feel like Pochettino could have that, which is what led him, I think, to taking the job at the United States. So I would have liked to see a level of continuity. Changing managers every year is not necessarily
you're resetting the whole
successful
project.
plan, especially when you don't have Drogba, Lampard, Cech, Terry, Essien, blah, 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 the whole list. You don't have experience and quality in the team to where they can almost manage themselves. You're dealing with children. So, Maresca he's another project. There's a project for players, there's a project for the project, and now there's a project manager. So we'll see.
So Eddie, where are you on the whole Poch thing?
Should have been sacked after Liverpool. That's where I'm at with it. I mean, damn. I mean, the fact that he stayed to the end of the season meant he have stayed is welcome. Like Daniel said, the end of the season we saw was more of a natural progression of the players. You give them game time, they'll perform. You have a consistent lineup for 6 games. Wow, miracles happen, right? You get consistency, you get combinations happening. There's no chopping and changing. You know where your best lineup is. And he was kind of forced into doing that because of the injuries that happened throughout the season. Lord knows what happens if everyone stayed fit. We'll probably have the same chopping and changing. We'll probably have the same messing up with the lineups. But he overstayed his welcome, in my opinion. And it should have been gone after Liverpool. He had to go. He had to go because you could tell the style of football he wanted to play did not rhyme with the players we had. And also the rumors we're hearing in terms of him wanting these big, powerful players, that's not what Chelsea have. That's not the players they were going for. Yes, you want to play Powerball. You want to play transition football, ping
No,
pong, or tennis, or whatever they call it.
So do you think it was both Boehly and Clearlake that wanted him gone, or do you think Clearlake wanted him gone and Boehly wanted him to stay? Because the reports, again, I don't know whether it's true. The reports were that he was Boehly's guy. Boehly wanted him to stay. Clearlake wanted him gone.
I don't think it was a thing of he was Boehly's guy. I think it was just a thing of Boehly understanding this is manager number 4, 5. Let's see how this plays out for another season. That was, I think, Boehly's stance on things. I don't think he really thought Poch was the guy because I'm sorry, you'll give him a 2-year contract. And I think the rumors as well was he had to sign another 1+1 if he was going to stay. Whether it was 1+1 or a 2+1. So y'all didn't put the investment you put in Potter and Maresca in Poch. So he was always going to be a bridge guy. And that's what I said from the start when he came. Poch was always a bridge guy. It was always the guy before the person they really thought was the guy. I'm not sure if that's Maresca, but no, I don't think it was a Poch guy. It was just, look, we've had so much happen. We've had all these things going on behind the scenes. People are getting tired of it. Can we just have maybe one more season of stability? Like maybe one more season of nothing happening on the coaching front. Let's keep the same coach. Let's help these players develop, and let's see if they can cook. Whether or not that would have been a good or bad decision, we'll never know. But for me, Poch has to go, man.
Abdullah, hopefully you're not eating or cooking. Where were you with Poch? Abdullah, the blue studio.
I'm here.
Good, thank you.
For me, it should have gone after the Manchester United match in November. For me, it should have gone. Yes.
Ruthless.
Yes. And I'll give my reason. I am not a big fan of Mauricio Pochettino. I am not. And I went to Chicago for the preseason. I went to Chicago live. I went there to watch the players live, and I see the way he plays. Is when we were talking to the player, his decision making. And when the season starts, the first excuse he gave is Christopher Lukaku is injured. Because of him is injured, now we cannot win. I'm like, excuse me? So because of Okonkwo now, you don't know how to play another system again. Just because of Christopher Lukaku, we can't play another system. Just because of him, we regret just because of him.
That was trash.
I'm like, you are not a rookie. You are not a rookie manager. Just because of one player, you started to play everything upside down. I'm like, okay, this man is not even the right man for the job. And the first match against Liverpool went to the Benchwell as left wing. I'm like, you have an actual left wing, but you are playing Benchwell as left wing. Someone that is even doing this. He can't cross.
But he might be, yes.
It's just a mean thing to say.
Some of these decision making, I'm like, what the heck is going on with this man? Are you on steroid or something? I'm like, okay. After that, Nottingham Forest, we lost. Aston Villa, we lost. Brentford, I'm like, hold on a minute. Something is going on. It's going on here. We need to fix something here. And when you look at the players talking about, like Kaisheda and kept talking about, in Stamford Bridge, we have too much pressure. We can't play because of the fan base booing and saying so many stuff. We prefer to play away. We prefer to play in away than stuff. I'm like, okay, something is going on here. And again, the penalty issues. I know you remember the penalty issues.
Oh yeah.
There is a designated penalty on the pitch in Cole Palmer. And Maresca and Jackson are fighting, and we have the manager. We just hold and do nothing. Please, do we have the mannequin as a manager? Is he a mannequin as a manager? Is that what you're telling me? Because if there is a designated penalty on the pitch, it is our penalty taker.
So basically, you were Poch out after the United game. After United game, you were Poch out.
I was done already for me. Because you can't go to Old Trafford and United dominated. We get dominated at Old Trafford. That United team was trash last season. We get dominated by that team at Old Trafford, and you expect me to back this manager? No. I was out. This man, he has to go.
Okay, so look. Let's now talk about Mascara. Now, Daniel, this is my theory. Because this coincides with this whole Clearlake versus Boehly thing. I do believe that Maresca is 100% a Clearlake signing. I believe now, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I'm right or wrong, but my theory is this has nothing to do with the Boehly. This is Clearlake fully initiating their control, saying this is our guy, hence why this was the start at the beginning of their relationship deteriorating. Because my thing is, if you can remember what Pochettino first said in his press conference when he joined and what Maresca said. So Poch was like, this is Chelsea. Chelsea are about winning and they're high standards here. Maresca came out and said that no one told me that we're expected to finish top 4. This is a project. This is a long-term process. This takes time. So what Maresca is saying, what he said at the offset, is what Pochettino ended up saying towards the end of the season, which makes me believe that Clearlake's control started to increase about halfway through Poch's season. Hence why Poch's messages they were changing throughout the season. And so for Maresca, this is Clearlake's vision: long-term, young kids, develop, no real pressure to win trophies. And let's be real, I wanted Poch gone. It's one thing to want a manager gone, it's another thing to have a downgrade. Insults Poch only once. This man, Maresca, coached Serie B with a Pittsburgh Buffon at Parma, and he coached Leicester City to a championship win, but even their fans were happy for him to be gone. So when you look at Maresca, your honest assessment on him, is it a case of, hey, give him time, he can cook, or is this worrying how they went from Pochettino to Maresca? Just try to do the math of what the Maresca...
It's a rinse and repeat, though. If you look at the 4 managers that they've hired, if you remove Lampard, you have an experienced, somewhat good manager in Tuchel. They sack him, and then they bring in Potter, right? Then it's the same pattern, but when... They say if you photocopy the same, if you photocopy something and then you photocopy and you keep photocopying the photocopy, by the end you get a mess because the original photocopy is bad. Yeah. It's like a worse photocopy of the same thing. So Pochettino was a worse version of Tuchel in terms of his managerial status, and then I would say you could make the argument that Maresca is a worse version of Potter. So there's a devolution in terms of this hierarchy that's happening. I would say that Potter was probably a Boehly idea, and I would say that Maresca is clearly a Clearlake idea, no pun intended. So, I think he needs time. In the same way I would have said at this stage, international break. Actually, at that time, I think Boehly was Potter was just hired around this time in 22, 23, whenever that was. So Maresca needs the same time to see maybe it does work, maybe it doesn't. I mean, you lose to Manchester City, that's kind of expected. You beat Wolves with a good result, and then later in the week you follow that up by losing to Servette. So even though you got the ultimate objective of getting into the Conference League, I mean, you lost to Servette. If you didn't have 2 penalties, who knows? So it's too early to tell. He's played 4 or 5 games. Preseason wasn't great, losing to Celtic and different teams. Did they draw with Wrexham, or did they beat Wrexham?
No, they drew with Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
So it's hard to know. Judging anything off preseason is probably a bad methodology, but I'm willing to give Maresca more time to see if the ideas bed into the team. It seems to be on a better trajectory than Potter. When Potter started, it was almost immediately like, I don't know about this. But Maresca seems like, all right, like there's maybe some there. But it's going to take time, as it always would take time. It's just that they keep restarting the clock every time they sack somebody. It's like, oh, we've bought ourselves another 5-8 months, whatever. We bought ourselves another window to buy players. So that's why I said earlier with Pochettino, even if we all could clearly see that there were issues, you need a level of continuity with young players if you want to develop them. The whole point of buying young players is to develop them into something, hopefully to keep. Yeah. We haven't even got to the point where the player is good enough to where 80, 90, 100 million offer comes in for Cole Palmer. What do they do then? Do they think, oh, we can go back into our system and find another Cole Palmer? Or do they hold on to him? So we haven't even reached that point yet. I say we. They haven't even reached that point yet. But yeah, I would like a level of continuity, even if it's with a brick. who's from Serie B. Just give him time and let's see. And I think that's best. And I think that's best for the fans. I think that's best for the hierarchy. I think that's best for the players. So, yeah.
Eddie, Maresca or Mascara?
Yeah, just go to Abdullahi real quick. I'm just trying to switch.
Or Abdullahi, Maresca, Mascara. Don't tell me you're eating.
For me, I've been very impressed with Enzo Maresca in terms of the way he wants to play. Because if you look at the players we have, the players suit his style of play because the way the kind of signing we have in terms of 1v1 signing, beating opposition players, and it suits his style of play very well. And if you look at the problem Pochettino has last season was he has players who doesn't suit his system because Pochettino is like a counter-attacking player where he wants to run. And when you are playing a team like City and Arsenal, who just pass you around the way, sometimes you don't need the runners. And I think the difference right there and now is we have more, how would I put it? We have more 1v1 players now who can beat opposition. Pedro Neto, Madueke, those are players that can now you can say, okay, one-on-one you can trust them to beat opposition. My question is, we have Sancho. We don't know which Sancho we are getting. Are we getting Sancho of Dortmund? Are we getting Sancho of United? I don't know. Because
hopefully Sancho of Dortmund, hopefully.
There is a player in that guy. I don't know which one we are getting. I don't know. Are we getting a Sancho who's going to put his head down and just play football and just enjoy himself, or are we getting a different Sancho? I don't know. We have to wait and see what Sancho we're getting. But overall, I'm impressed. My problem is the midfield. That's what I have a problem with. Enzo Fernandez is my number one problem because it's someone I kind of rate very highly. But again, I have a problem with Enzo because if you watch him in Benfica, if you watch him in Argentina, he's playing more as a deep line playmaker in terms of give him the ball. He knows where to pass. He knows who to pass to. Now,
was he worth 150? Was he worth other money? Was he worth it?
He's not even 150 at all. It's like max is 30 million max. That's it. It does not want 150. But when you're dealing with Benfica and you know the president of Benfica is, so that man is like it's like the Laurentiis of Napoli. So it's very weird to negotiate with him. But again, my problem I'm gonna have with Maresca is how does he figure that midfield out? Does he play? Is it Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo, Caicedo? Because I have a problem because if you are playing a team like Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, who do you trust? Lavia cannot stay fit because he's an injury-prone player. Now we have to play Enzo Fernandez. So now, do you play more as a?
So you're saying forever Lavia cannot stay fit. So we basically bought a crocked player. What do you mean by he can't stay fit, bro? You get paid a high wage every single week. You bloody well play 30, 40 games is a season.
Lavia's body is made with. It's not even made with. You know the food within Africa like pounded yam and co. His body is not made with that. His body is made with chips. That's what his body is made with. Lavia body is made with chips. It's not made with pounded yam. No. So
wait, hold on. I'm like, what did you cook?
Jollof rice and fried with chicken.
You know how to cook jollof?
Yeah, fried what? Yes. What did you say?
Jollof,
fried what?
Jollof rice, fried rice with chicken.
Oh, okay, got you.
Do you know how to cook jollof, or did you go and order it?
No, I know how to cook. I've been cooking in Nigeria. So I know how to cook. Excuse me? I know how to cook, man. Really.
Yeah. Continue.
How many Scotch bonnets do you put?
Not too much, but later.
Not too much.
But I also think I like the score. I like the way the system is. But again, in 2024. Robert Sanchez is Chelsea goalkeeper. We are finished.
Wait, hold up. Who is Robert Sanchez? You mean Rover from Sesame Street? He's Rover.
The goalkeeper of Chelsea Football Club is Robert Sanchez. I am worried because that guy is brain. That sometimes I see. My problem with Sanchez is sometimes he doesn't behave as a goalkeeper. He thinks he's playing with his team, like he's playing with his colleagues, maybe in high school or in college.
No. Wait. Stop trying to speak English, as my mom would say. Stop trying to speak English. He's trash. Simple.
It's garbage.
He's a brick.
I know.
He's garbage. He's trash.
I know, but apart from the goalkeeper and a little bit of the midfield getting sorted out, I think I'm okay with the attack. Yes, we might talk about Nicola Jackson. Can he score? Last season, he scored 14 goals. Can he score more than 14 goals? Can he score above that? I'm not sure. We have
Check
to
the private chat, HH.
But this is where I was pissed off with not getting Victor Osimhen, because you cannot spend the whole entire May, June, July, August, and September without getting a prolific goal scorer.
Actually, okay, wait, hold on, that, because that's a topic I want to get into to strike.
Just to add up, because yes.
Okay, go for it.
I'm okay with Maresca.
So basically, Maresca is going to give me back my UCL that's on loan to Real. That's what you're saying. Maresca is going to give me back my UCL.
At least win the conference league. You can one step at a time. One step at a time.
I'm like, don't you dare mention that conference thing.
You know, that's probably Chelsea's best way to get back.
Cole Palmer wasn't even in the squad. They didn't even put Palmer in the conference league squad.
He'll go back to the squad in general.
They do two lists.
What?
If we get to the final, are we having a meal and a drink? Are we celebrating?
Okay, hold on. Shout out to Miguel Rabinez, man. On Maresca, all I asked for is Pochettino's successor not be an outdated dinosaur. Maresca needs time, and this team, which suits him, will grow. Look, I think I'm with Daniel. I'm not a fan of Maresca, but give him time. If he proves me wrong, hey,
cool.
I'm happy to be proven wrong. So it's not like, oh my gosh, damn it, I was proven wrong. If I'm proven wrong, I win. So yes, as much as I'm not a fan of his, if he proves me wrong, the football is good, the results are good, and the team is actually moving forward in the right direction, I'm all in. So yes, please, I beg you, please prove me wrong, and I'll be happy to be proven wrong. Miguel Rabinez again. Also, football as a whole is going in a direction where younger coaches are preferred because older ones are outdated. Also,
sporting directors.
I thought I said STDs. Sorry. Also, SDs, sporting directors are getting. Sorry, don't do that. Also, sporting directors are getting more power.
What? STD?
Okay. Let me mute him. So no. Look, my thing. So my thing is that. No, my thing is this. I don't believe in this stuff. This idea of like, there's no such thing as something that is outdated. You can't solve football tactically. You can't. A defense, you could argue Ancelotti is outdated, but he has cooked Pep on several occasions. So my thing though is, I don't need this whole modern forward-thinking coach. All I need is the right coach. I don't need a young coach or a modern coach. I just need the right coach that is right for the particular squad. That could be a young coach. It could be an old coach.
Repeat what you said.
What's it?
You are saying Carlo Ancelotti is not like a renowned coach of this.
No. You wouldn't call him like a modern coach. He still uses the whole old school sense of like give players freedom without micromanaging.
Okay, is Pochettino an outdated coach?
I wouldn't say outdated, but I wouldn't say modern
because
either. He's sort of in between the two.
He's been using the same tactics he's been using Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur, Paris Saint-Germain to Chelsea. He hasn't changed it. He has not done it at all. So that's not the new generation of manager.
Oh, okay, so hold on. So actually, no, wait, hold on. I'm going to confess to you with this because this involves you. So, and then I'll come here as well. So Abdullah, who was right between Nico and Obi Mikel? So
Who was right?
Yeah. So basically, was Obi Mikel right to criticize Nico Jackson on beIN Sports by saying that he's not a very good striker? Or was Nico Jackson right in saying that he's killing himself for Africa?
I'm gonna answer that question.
He's killing himself.
Wait, what are you laughing? That's what he said. That's what he said. He's killing himself for Africa. So continue.
The first one is when you look at the Chelsea striker we had, even when Mikel was there, let me even go back. When we had Acebank, we have when there was like Kezman and Motu, Crespo and Co. Yes, these are strikers. But if you go back after this era, and you look at Drogba, Anelka, Kalu, and Co. Mikel will be played with this kind of strikers. You understand them. These are the kind of strikers he played with. These are players that will give you goals, leadership, and everything. But with Nico Jackson criticizing Obi Mikel, I don't also blame him too, because coming to Chelsea, the pressure, the expectation, and everything, I don't blame him also that with that aspect. But I will also say Obi is kind of passionate because he wants Chelsea to kind of go back to the Chelsea of the Drogbas, the Anelkas, the all those kind of players. But also he needs to understand something. He's young. He's 23 years of age. With time, it will get better. With time, Nico will get better. But again, I can understand the criticism of what's called with Nico and John Obi Mikel. I can understand the criticism, but what I'm gonna just say is, I want all Chelsea players, both Noni Madueke, Nicola Jackson, off social media. They are getting on my nerves. They need to get off social media.
So basically, you're saying Uncle Mikel was right for his criticism. He was right.
I'm not saying. I'm saying he's in the middle. He has to be balanced. Yeah, you can criticize players. Managers also get criticism too, but there have to be a balance in that criticism too. Because when you keep criticizing players every day, every match, you get to a stage where they will get pissed off, and when there are social media where you can just say whatever you want to say. So now it depends on how the way you react, because sometimes it deals with mentality. So you have to be balanced, though. You have to balance from the criticism.
So no, wait, hold on. Before you go, are you with Nico Jackson to be the Chelsea striker? Do you believe that that we should support him and give him faith because he's killing himself for Africa?
Yeah, we can support him, but we need someone more older than him that can score those goals, because Jackson will miss chances. I know he will. He will miss chances.
Okay. So Eddie, where are you with Nico Jackson and Obi Mikel's criticism of him?
What did Mikel say wrong?
Nothing. No, because Eddie, the main thing to remember, Obi Mikel's critique was the City game. So Nico Jackson responded to him after the Wolves game where he scored, but he criticized you in the City game where you missed several chances, and one of those chances was where you were literally right in front of goal and you literally passed it to Ederson.
Again, Mikel didn't say anything wrong. He's been consistent with this, and we've been known for what the last 18 months he's been trying to get Osimhen to Chelsea. Well, guess who was available this window? Osimhen. Chelsea were interested in Osimhen, and when you watch Jackson drop a stink fest like he did against Manchester City, there's only one thing you can think of. There's only one thing to do, which is get my boy into the club, man. Yeah. And I would have done the same. I'll say whatever. And he said it. Back in my day, we'll play with Drogba, we'll play with Anelka, we'll play with real ballers who could finish.
Yeah. Jackson,
up until he gets in the box, can pretty much do almost anything, but stale in the box, man. He's not a clinical finisher.
No.
All right. He's not.
Because do you think he can become a clinical finisher?
I don't think so. I think this is who Jackson is. He's a very good football player who can probably play at best as a second striker. I think at best he'll be a second striker, but you need a Haaland next to him. And Jackson has those qualities. He can play behind the striker. He can play.
He can play out wide.
Yeah, his link up play is really good. Like, he's got qualities about him that you can use in good squads. But he's not your number 9. He's not a Osimhen. He's not a Haaland. He's not this clinical 9 that will get me 20. I can't bank on Jackson to score 20 goals even this season.
No. Like, that's it's not a good bet.
Unless you start pads in the Conference League. Yeah. He's not getting you 20 league goals. Let's put it that way.
No.
Is there anyone expecting that? If I can get 20 goals out of my striker, then 20 league goals out of my striker, then I'm sorry. I need someone else in there.
Can I have a rebuttal to what Eddie said a little bit? Just a little bit, please. I'm not comparing both of them, and I won't do that. I will never. It's crazy doing it. Didier in myself is different than Didier in Chelsea. Because
Yeah.
when we bought Didier in Chelsea, he was 26 years of age. And that was like then it's already above his prime, where this man is going to get to do. And if you remember his first season, it was tough for him also in his first season. And after the first season, he came back. Nico Soliteri, I'm not saying it's someone that can rely on, but I can say with more consistency, with reputation and everything, Jackson can get you 17, 18 goals. He got 14 goals, non-penalty goals last season. So if there's also a legitimate reason where you can say he can get you more than 14 goals. Because
do you trust Nico Jackson to score a winning goal? Like we're in a tight game, 1-1. Do you think that he'll be made the difference and score a winning goal, the winner, crucial goals?
Because he's not playing for that extent to score those winning goals. That is why we have enough attacker in our team. That I would trust more of our players than even.
Abdullahi?
Okay, so it's not just me. All right.
He is not playing to score those goals.
Oh, wow.
But players like Neto, Madueke, Palmer, and Co. Player behind him, you can just to score those goals around him.
Okay. That might be wifey. Nico?
He's an interesting kind of conundrum, I think, in that I think everybody, mostly everyone, can see like there's something there. Like there's a player in there somewhere, but what position is it? Because it isn't striker.
Yep.
And I think we're in a world of more specialists where if you're playing number 9, you should actually be a striker. If you're playing number 10, you should be a 10. If you're playing on the wing, you should be a winger. And Jackson is elements of all of them, but he's none of them, and he's none of them great. So he's a player that I would like to have in my team, but not a player I want to depend on for the course of a season. If he needs to come in and we need a secondary striker, we need a striker, we need somebody who can play on the left, somebody who can play 10 in this game against Crystal Palace, and maybe it's not so serious of a league game. Maybe he can come in and get a goal or an assist or do something that leads to an assist or a goal. But if he's your main number 9 and you need him to score the 30, 35, 40 goals over all competitions, he's not that player.
No.
And when you asked, can he develop into it? In my mind, I was thinking, can we think of anybody who kind of developed into just a cold-blooded finisher that wasn't one already? That's reasonable.
Henry.
Because I was going to say, don't give me Henry. Because it's not reasonable for him to transform into Thierry Henry.
No, that's not. No, I'm not.
But normally a striker either has it or they don't. Even if their overall game is bad, the one thing that you can rely on is that they can strike a ball cleanly and put it on target. Jackson does everything except that part.
But just to end the sentence, which is why I agree in a sense with Mikel. But I feel like Mikel should probably just like keep that one, because it sounds like he's Osimhen's agent. Osimhen, since I'm with Nigerians. No. My thing is that because I mentioned Henry because, again, you can't, that's just only one example and I can't think of another example, but Henry was just a pace merchant out on the wing. Yeah. And even when Wenger did the move from that striker, I was like, I don't think this is going to work with Wenger. Because the guy I saw, because the guy I saw at Euro 2000, I think it was Euro 2000, and even I was like, okay, I don't know how this guy can develop, but Charles Wenger, he just transformed him into a guy who knew how to play striker, understood it well. But here's the whole thing. That's just one example. And Wenger is a very good coach who obviously, through training, was like, I see raw elements here of a guy who I can now develop. He knew
him from Monaco. He knew him. Obviously, he was with Juventus. There was a history there to where he understood what the player was capable of.
Beyond that, Wenger's eye for talent, I trust that a lot more than Maresca's eye for talent and his coaching ability. So my thing for Nico Jackson is that, look, I agree with you guys. He's a good player. He's not a rubbish. He's a good player and he's useful. But the issue though is, if you're winning games and he keeps on getting in these goal-scoring opportunities and misses them, that hampers the team. What you want is someone else who is clinical in these goal-scoring situations. What you want him is to help to facilitate others who are more clinical in those goal-scoring situations. But if he's in those goal-scoring situations and is breaking them up, that's problematic.
Well, if you think about the era that that we just came out of. Well, not just came out of, but like maybe 2 generations ago. They were playing with 2 strikers. So you could have a striker that wasn't really a great finisher, but was good at the link-up play kind of stuff. In this era, they don't play with 2 strikers. So we don't even really play with number 10s anymore.
No.
You have 2 number 8s, a DM, 2 wide players, and a striker. Or some managers are just removing the striker altogether, and they have like false 9, whatever it is. I don't think Jackson is technically good enough to where he should be your false 9 or something like that. Like you can't build your attack around him, which is the problem. It's just I see why I would keep him in my team though, because I do think he's like a good. I can't even say the word I want to use. He's just like he can keep the machine well oiled.
Yeah.
Put it that way. And the flicks, the tricks, I was gonna say he was a lubricant, but it would go left.
He's a luber. He's a luber.
But like there are certain things that he does, especially when he's standing still, that it's like, oh, like yeah, like you want that in your team, the back heels, the flicks, the tricks. Yeah. But it's when he has to take the ball and progress it himself, the technique gets all kind of wayward and. You know, there's a larger discussion about African football that should probably be had about maybe how he grew up learning to play football, the types of pitches and things that he maybe wasn't able to work on as a kid or whatever it is. But yeah,
no, because my thing, he has a role in this team, but he's just playing the wrong role, and that's simple. So there is a strong role that he can play, which is why I say for Nico is, and here's where the issue may be. I think he believes he's a striker and can be clinical, which is why he took issue with what Obi Mikel said. So I think for him, he is going to continue being in these goal scoring situations, and he's going to continue to try to, because I think he actually wants to be that guy and that striker. And I'm like, Nick, no.
The glue, yes, Zach, glue. He's a glue guy, a good glue guy. Lube Jackson is good. Yeah. That's not as crazy as Half Hope saying "eat out." I don't know what the fuck that was, but sorry for swearing.
You know what I meant, man. You know what I meant.
Eat each other.
Did you say eat each other out? That's wild, bro. He said he even did. Can they eat each other?
Oh wow. Okay, wait. Okay, so Eddie,
shame me is what I'm saying.
So if you were like in charge and you had a decision on Nico, keep him. If you keep him, where do you play him or sell him?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ooh, that's a tricky question because now you've got to look at how Maresca wants to play in terms of this positional type system. Because I would say he could play. I mean, looking at the 3-2-4, he could play one of the left hands. But then you have the question of where does he defend? Because at the moment, Maresca has both his 8s pushing up, and retains 1-6. Whereas if you have your fullback maybe bombing up one side like he does with Gusto at some point, you can maybe push your winger inside to play one of the 10 roles. That is probably where I can see Jackson being very successful. Because I was going to say, off the left. He can link up, combine. He's not going to take Palmer out.
There's
10.
already so many players that could
that's
play
the thing.
better
You've got
there.
Pedro Neto, you've got João Felix there. But basically, there's so many players competing for those positions. But I think, which is why for Nico, which is why I think he really wants to hold on the striker position, because if Chelsea now get a striker, you have to compete with so many other players on those other positions. Whereas there's only one striker, which is him and not that Boma's good.
I feel like in a perfect world, sorry to cut Eddie, but like in a perfect world, Jackson is like this era's Kalou. Just come in and do what you can, but you're not the main guy. There's Drogba there, there's Shevchenko there, there's Torres there. We don't need you to be the guy. You can just kind of help and chip into the total goal tally of the team. But they're asking Kalou to be Drogba. That doesn't really work.
And that's the role I would have given to Jackson, which is a role off the bench, right? Coming games where probably meaningless games. You're getting your time, but in the meaningful games, you're probably coming off the bench and make a bit of a difference. But I'm just thinking if I had to maybe shoehorn him into anywhere in this team, it's got to be on the left because I don't see any standout candidates for that left wing. Surely not Mudryk. And I've seen
Nkunku maybe like as the 9 and Jackson on the left, or I don't know, man.
Nkunku on the 9, you're looking more as a false 9 type thing.
Then the problem now
Nkunku
is
hasn't started.
Wait,
Hold on. Let Eddie finish the concept. Like Eddie.
Nkunku hasn't started the season great, and I've seen too many games from Nkunku where he plays as a 9 and he gets lost. There's really no presence, and I've seen it in pre-season as well.
No. I think he's a support striker, sort of. He has to play with someone.
Again, he's another support striker, right? So
They have 5 of them. It's stupid. Like Felix
crazy.
should play behind the striker. Palmer should ideally play behind the striker, and Nkunku should ideally play behind one. Jackson should play behind one. So
because
once you go through the list, it's like where do they put all these people? And to the previous point, who's building this shit? Who buys all these players?
I'm looking at a point where Sancho might be your best starting left winger.
But as Abdullahi said, what Sancho are we getting? Are you getting Dortmund Sancho or United Sancho? That's important.
It might not matter, bro.
Oh, it matters. Oh, it matters.
Over Mudryk. Have you seen this guy?
Oh, you're saying Mudryk. Oh, okay, fine. Then yeah, it doesn't matter. Give me anything. Give me anything. Bro, give me the Sancho from that was cast away into the mountains. He's still better than that donation from Ukraine, bro. So
he wasn't a don't call him. He was 100 mil or 80 million euros. $100 million.
No donation to the Ukraine war. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
the investigative report on where that money went is going to be very interesting in like 10 years.
Daniel's right in terms of look how is this whole thing been built, right? Because you just have too many players or too many people to fit in 2-3 positions. So Enzo's got Maresca has got a real big problem on his hands.
Oh man.
He's got a big problem.
What's to say?
No, just Enzo's another one that in an ideal world, he's not a DM. And for me, he moves too slow or cumbersome to really be like a box to box. So you can easily see him as somebody who could be like a free 8, attacking 8, but that would then eat into the space of a 10. It's a whole weird mishmash of profiles.
Guys. Enzo,
I would drop Enzo if I'm honest, but I can't say that publicly.
He needs to be sold. Can we all agree on that?
Wait. Actually, no. Let's hold on. Let me get you in because let me put that as a topic. So Enzo Fernandez. So racism aside, let's talk pure for football and nothing to do with
that's my main
Italy
reason
and Germany. Okay. So
my second reason.
So Eddie, you mentioned it. So are you saying that the Italian German needs to be sold? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. If you look at the way again, you've put a 5-year investment in Maresca. Now, these sporting directors, your head's on the line because you can't get it wrong 4 times. Yeah, you can't get it wrong 3-4 times because they came in, they sacked Potter, right? So they sacked Potter, brought in Poch or whatever. This is their 3rd manager. I know you can't get this stuff wrong, right? So I'm assuming Maresca is going to be here for at least 2-3 seasons. Enzo doesn't fit how he's going to play. I can't find a position that allows Enzo to maximize what Maresca is trying to do. Now you can see him trying to shoehorn Enzo into different positions, but he still doesn't fit.
But Eddie, you said that though. He's his captain. He made him captain. So is he going to discard of a guy who he's made captain? That if you make someone captain, that is clearly showing the importance you have of him. So we have an issue. If it's he doesn't fit him tactically, but the guy says, "I'm making you captain," which means that I do.
Eddie, They made Gallagher captain last year, and what did he do? He started basically every game because he had the armband because everybody's injured. So the person who's named captain is gonna play.
Yeah,
no, but the thing is, Ben Chilwell was vice captain last year over Gallagher, and
but he was hurt.
No, he was injured. He was injured.
Even when he was fit at the end of the season, still didn't play much.
Okay.
I mean, different circumstances, but you've seen your John Terry's and Cahill's had to ride bench and play score guys when, obviously, when they were being phased out towards the end. But that worries me. I'm not gonna lie, because the fact that he's made captain means he's probably one of the first names on the team sheet. But if you ask me, your best six is Lavia. Caicedo is probably one of your better eights.
Hmm.
And
And
Kopama's
then-
not playing the 10.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's no space for Enzo?
There's space for Enzo, but then you would have to sacrifice one of the wealth of attacking players that you've chosen to buy in order to fit 4 midfielders effectively.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
But you're not going to do that. You need to
No.
pick 3,
Yeah.
including Palmer as one of the 3.
Because I would have agreed with you, Daniel. But then I watched him against Manchester City in the first game. He was damn near ineffective, right? Because he's playing the role you're saying he takes up, which is for one of the 4 in the 3-2-4-1. He can't do that. He's a linker.
Who we talking?
Enzo.
Oh,
Enzo.
Okay.
Enzo.
yeah. I mean, in my team, I don't think he plays. Now that I've actually seen Lavia, and I understand the purpose of that. I would probably still keep it 4-2-3-1, and I'd have Lavia, Caicedo, Palmer in 10. For now, Nico at striker or Nkunku, Nico on the left maybe, and pick a name for the right. Or like the wingers, I mean, it's all interchangeable anyway at the end of the day. But Enzo's going to play, so then you have to figure out what style or what type of midfield organization works best to suit him. Because he's such an in-between of everything. He's like, if it was Football Manager, he would have like his whatever shape they put would be big, but it would never reach the end of anything.
Yeah.
So like he'd be like a 15, 14, but never reaching 20. So it's hard. I don't know exactly where to put him because Enzo dictates formation change. Probably one holding midfielder with Enzo in another. And I don't think Chelsea are defensively solid enough to have just one holding midfielder. I think you do need 2. So
That is why Lavia is made with chips. It's not made with poundo yam. It's the best DM we have in that team, but it can't stay fit. That's my problem. It cannot
That's
stay
true.
fit. Romeo Lavia cannot stay fit. So
The best
if you wanna
ability is availability, as the wise man once said.
Yeah,
and Abdullahi, are we forgetting Chelsea looked best last season when Enzo was recovering from his surgery and wasn't playing.
Yes.
So there's that evidence as well. So
This is the problem with Enzo now because in Argentina he plays more as a deep line player where we have McAllister and when they go the ball play behind him and he can easily dictate the play. Even if you look at the South American play, the way South American player plays also too. They play through him, but the problem with him right now in Chelsea is Caicedo and Lavia are ahead of him. So now he has to play above them, which is going to be a problem. And Maresca now is the problem is he's made him the assistant captain. Benchua is being omitted out of the squad. See, this is the dilemma we're having right now. Enzo Fernandez is the assistant captain of Chelsea, and see, we have the captain who can stay fit, who is nursing injury, who is visiting the hospitals and the patient every season, who cannot stay fit. That's James. We have an assistant captain who just won the Cup America, start abusing black people and the Nigerian people. We have a problem. So now there's a problem because who is the leader in the team? We don't know the leader.
There's no leader. in
there
this team.
isn't one.
There's no
purposely.
and that's the
There's
issue.
no,
There's no leader.
but that's done purposely.
Oh yeah, 100%. So
now there's no
Maresca doesn't
leader.
have anyone to step up to him.
There is no leader. So that's what the problem is. Now, if you want to play to Enzo Fernandez, I've said it from day one and I'll repeat myself. Enzo Fernandez is a closet.
If only he can stay fit. Continue.
AJ, are you relying on
Pause. I don't like that.
Look, I don't play the pause game, man. If you play the pause game, that means you're thinking weird stuff, so you're weird as well. Abdullah, talk to me.
looking at other players like the other teams are going to be playing like because in this after the national break we play Bournemouth, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and West Ham. Those are physical teams. Those are physical teams. You need Lavia to be fit in those one match or two. Those 2 matches, you need them to be fit. If Lavia is not fit before they go to international break in October, Lord have mercy. We're gonna get how to run in that midfield because Fernandez cannot defend. He can pass the ball. He's a good passer of the ball. He's damn good of the. He can pass. You can toss him to pass anywhere. But again, he needs to understand the physicality of the game. But again, does Maresca change his way to fit into Enzo and play? Because if you want to play Enzo Fernandez, you have to play Enzo Fernandez. You have to change the way you play football to fit into Enzo by just passing the ball around, dictating the pass and everything. For how long are we going to do that?
Okay, wait. So last topic. So we just round off with this last topic. Okay. So, Daniel, what's the end game here between Boehly and Clearlake? What's the end game here? So basically, who wins out?
Have you spoken about Osimhen?
Okay, let's touch on Osimhen and then we'll end with that. Let's touch on Osimhen here. So okay, let's talk Osimhen here. All right.
I want to know on Osimhen.
So okay, my thing here is with this. So I watched the Obi Mikel podcast where he said that all those reports were not true about how much money he was asking for and everything. He just said there were just some fine details that they couldn't agree upon, and then it didn't happen. I am not as hot on Osimhen now as I was when they won the Scudetto.
Yes.
So, hence why I wasn't like, hey, because I'm like Nigeria's best attacker right now is a guy called Ademola. That's Nigeria's best attacker. It's your boy Ade.
And it will be the new African Footballer of the Year.
Oh, 100%. I did them to give him to that thing to Bram DDS. But my thing is, again, if the choice is Nico Jackson as striker or Osimhen as striker, I'm taking Osimhen.
Yes.
If that's my choice. Now, I think that you can probably, if you looked a lot harder, you can maybe do better than Osimhen, because I do feel his injuries, he didn't really have a good season last season. So I'm not as hot on him as right now, and I was very disappointed with his performance in AFCON. That was a very disappointing performance. But Chelsea need a striker. They need a finisher. And I trust Osimhen to be more clinical than Nico Jackson. So if that's the choice you have there, so your choice is Nico Jackson, Osimhen, I'm taking Osimhen. That if you can do better than Osimhen, do better. But if that's the choice, so my thing is that for Chelsea, if that was all you had and there was no other better striker than Osimhen out there, you had to go for Osimhen. Because I'm sorry, goals win games. And I just don't trust Nico Jackson to be clinical enough. Daniel, where do you stand in the whole Osimhen thing?
You basically said what I think. I mean, I understand, again, going back to their wage structure, why you don't want to break that. And obviously, I can understand also why, in Victor's case, he would have thought, I did this deal with Napoli, so then I could go get a big contract somewhere else. And maybe not reading the room, or maybe it's something you can't expect, but the market kind of contracting to where there really were no huge transfers that happened. Nothing, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it reached like 100 million for this player or anything like that. Maybe like De Ligt and those guys were maybe the most expensive. I'm not sure, but so 2 years ago, a year ago, you would have thought the market will open up in 24, 25, and I'll be able to leave for a big price and get my payday, knowing how stubborn the Napoli De Laurentiis is. But because of those sustainability things, those rules that are in place, I think teams are a bit more cautious now. So you're not really going to be able to command the high price that you would have after Napoli won the league, and certainly not after the season before, that last season where they finished 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that. So
they finished 10th last season.
10th. Sorry, wow. But by the same token, Chelsea, if Jackson is your number 9 for the season and Osimhen becomes available, I do think that's something you have to pursue seriously. And from my reading of all of the reports that came out, they kind of saw, well, Napoli, because they signed Conte and Lukaku's going to Napoli and that's going to be their striker. Osimhen has put himself, or Napoli have put Osimhen, probably is a better way to put it, in a position where he needs to leave. He has to find a team. So because we need to fit him within this structure, we're going to lowball him. And if he doesn't accept, he's going to be stuck. So they waited until deadline day, and they crunched him, and he didn't. They basically that, and he didn't go for it, and he found his outlet in Galatasaray on loan. And I guess you'll wait another 12 months to figure out, or he'll be a free agent next year, surely, yeah.
No, there's a
Or is it the year after?
There's a breakup clause in 75 million in January. Anybody can get that clause.
So
release clause tax, yeah.
So yeah, Chelsea I think should have seriously gone for it and not played the hardball game, seeing the situation that he was in. But they're a business, and they're gonna do what capitalists do, which is see a distressed asset and try to take advantage of it. So
Very
No
political
comment.
there.
I don't want to go there, but it's okay.
What's good? Talk to me.
AJ,
Osimhen.
I also listened to Obi Mikel's talk with regards to Osimhen, this and that. And it's a dicey situation because the way Mikel was talking, because if you watch Mikel very well, Mikel feel very confident when we were talking about Victor Osimhen. He looked very assured and confident. I'm like, are you sure of what you're saying? Because you are putting your reputation on the line by saying this out to the whole entire world. So the way I speak, I'm like, I speak to this, I'm like this, I'm like, okay, January is upon us. We're gonna know who Chelsea fans will swear for, either you or the sporting director. Somebody will have to get a course. Either you or somebody will have to do that. But with regards to Victor, is my problem with Victor Osimhen, I've said it from there. I'm a big fan of Osimhen, but can he stay fit? No. That's my question. After when he moved from Lille to Napoli, he was injured for 2 consecutive seasons. His breakout season when they won the Scudetto. And then when they won the Scudetto, he was fit for like 35, 34 matches. The rest of the matches he was injured. And he scored 26 goals in that season. So, yes, the way Osimhen plays will get injured. My problem is, if a team wants to buy Osimhen for like 100+ million, you have to look at it this way. Am I playing player for who's going to give me availability or injuries? You also have to factor something in, his attitude. A lot of clubs has been moving away from Osimhen because of his attitude. Because of his online stuff and everything. They don't want that. Because if you look at the way the team has been built now, they only want to move away from the attitude. And I'm like, okay, do I bring someone that's going to cause a disarray in the dressing room? Do I need him? No, I'm going to move away. And what he did to Finidi George, I haven't forgot that. I haven't forgotten that, what he did to George. So, if a player like Osimhen's caliber is going to do that to a legend in George, then I have a serious problem with Osimhen, with his attitude. But also, too, Napoli dealt him very bad. Everybody that knows De Laurentiis, he did it to Higuain, Koulibaly, Amshik, Dries Martins. So those are the caliber of player De Laurentiis did that to. Not just one player, he did it to a lot of players. Whoever is signing for Napoli knows. See, I cannot wait for the Civil War 2 between Antonio Conte and De Laurentiis. I cannot wait.
Oh no, he's not singing out the season. If that's he's not lasting 2 seasons at Napoli. I mean, we know this.
Severance.
They will not last.
Severance tax.
They will not last. So if I'm gonna choose between Osimhen and Nico, I'll go for Osimhen. But again, the question that boils down to in January, if you're gonna take out the clause in January, because now there's a little bit of caveat. Does he want to move in January? How happy is he in Galatasaray? How many good? You have to factor a lot of things into the situation in Galatasaray.
Well, I think the plan is he's hoping to get a move like in the summer.
I think they are looking at him in January. Maybe what they did to Nkunku, bring him in January, then you're gonna announce him in June. But they just are looking into the club World Cup in June, where if they can draw someone in January, he will be able to be participating. He will be ready for the club World Cup in June. But I'm like, does he move in January because he just get there in September? Does he move? Does Galatasaray fans want him to move? What if he has a good season there? So it's a little bit situation where they have to look at it. A lot of stuff a lot of moving parts needs to work for Victor. And I say it again, it will be 26 in January. Victor will be 26 in January. It's not the little kid we know in the under 17 players we know more. He is matured now. He is matured.
Okay, so last topic here, and then we'll be out of here. So Daniel, I'm going to come to you, man. How does this all end? Who wins out between Clearlake and Boehly? And what does the next 3 or 4 years look like for Chelsea?
The crystal ball says Clearlake, if there is indeed someone buying out the other. It's the people who have access to more money that can buy out the person that has less money. So if that's the case, Clearlake are probably going to win, and that means Feliciano and Egbali being the primary people. I'm interested perhaps in what happens in Stamford Bridge or even in away settings, because the away fans have been anti-Boehly, to my understanding, on Twitter or X at this point. So I wonder if that changes now that this information has become more apparent and it's out there and people can read for themselves. It's like, oh, so now Egbali and those guys are the ones pulling the strings. So maybe fan sentiment could be enough to get those guys out, but I doubt it. So Boehly probably loses out, or they find a way he becomes less of a player, but still keeps part of the team. If he just wants a football team, they should have just bought Brighton, in my opinion. But that's besides the point. What do the next few years look like? It depends really on the kind of progression, I would say, of the younger players. Thank you for that. The static is going.
Yeah. I'm getting some poundedium bus static from your thing, man. Continue.
Yeah. So the progression of the players. Again, how much of it is just kind of a natural maturation of the players, and how much of it is actually what Maresca and whatever his coaching staff is, how much can they do? It's gonna depend on the quality of the players that they bought. Some are gonna turn out great. Some are gonna turn out not so great. Some are gonna need to be sold. Some are gonna need to be brought in. So it's hard to project 3-4 years when over the past 3-4 years we've had they've had 5 different managers. So you never know what's gonna come around the corner with Chelsea. It's always some next drama, some next hoodoo. So, but if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But if things stay as they are, Maresca's the manager. There's some boardroom drama, but that's normally consistent with Chelsea. I could see Chelsea getting 5th at best, 6th, 5th, 6th, maybe 4th. And if Chelsea did get Champions League football, I mean, that would change a lot, I think, in terms of how much money they're bringing.
Money.
So it's dependent on European football.
Daniel,
but that's all dependent on the players.
is there a Premier League or UCLs in the horizon?
No.
What?
Well, there might be a UEFA Conference League. That's a UCL of a kind. They could win that. But if you mean the UEFA Champions League, you have to qualify for that first. I don't know. Can you confidently say Chelsea will be playing the top end of European football?
I'm saying I expect after all the money spent, Chelsea to be speaking fluent.
Yeah, but our
soon.
expectations of this team are founded and rooted in what the team used to be. Those jerseys behind you, those don't exist anymore. Like
they exist to me. They exist to me.
In your memory, they're in your memory, but like on the pitch, they're not there anymore. Like the best player is Cole Palmer. And he's okay. He's great. But like, he's not Hazard. He's not Zola. He's not Joe. He's not like, so like it's a different time to be a Chelsea fan. So maybe some people will enjoy the kind of growth potential. But for me, I've never really been into this whole process.
I want a UCL. I don't want a conference. I want a UCL. I want a Champions League.
Just put winners on the pitch. Like Abdullah, he had the right point when he brought up Drogba, like that jersey. Abramovich bought a 26-year-old that he didn't even know about. That a manager knew. I think I could do something with this player, and that ended up being one of the better purchases in Chelsea history, I'd say. This current group would never buy a 26-year-old. I don't think. Maybe they have.
That is my fear with Victor Osimhen. It will be 26 in January. So, are we putting all legs on him in January, or are you gonna wait in the summer? Because the briefing is Chelsea wants to get him in January. We will be ready for the. We'll see.
Yeah. So, and again, how would I put it? I think the oldest players in the team are like Dewsbury Hall, who's like 25. Tosin is 25. Cucurella is 26. Sanchez is 26. So they're not buying the best talent available. They're buying what they can for the price that fits their model. So this will be a better question to you, HH. Can you build a Premier League or Champions League winning team with players who are being paid on average 60K in 2024? The answer to that is probably no.
The answer is no,
miracles.
but unless a miracle. Unless they bring in better Chelsea. So, Abdullah, what does the future look like for Chelsea?
I'm going to answer you in two ways. Firstly,
Okay.
like what Daniel said, it depends. See, what happens in boardroom for me should stay in boardroom. So
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yes, that's it. What happens in boardroom should stay in boardroom. It shouldn't affect the player much, but Chelsea fans, we have cycles in our head.
Oh, wow.
Cycles in our head. Some are Tim Boehly, Tim McBally, and co. And if this keep happening again, it's gonna really affect the players a lot. It's gonna cost. It's gonna affect them in terms of the mentality and the way we play. So now, whatever is gonna happen, whoever is gonna buy whoever out, figure that bullshit out as soon as possible. Let's move on. If it's gonna
This is true. Sort it out. War is not good.
Let's know it's Boehly. If it's gonna be Clearlake capital, private
War.
equity,
What is it good for?
Let's know it's gonna be
Absolutely nothing.
But what I'm gonna say is, the only help that can help this ownership is getting Champions League. There is no easy way about it.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Champions League this season or next season? Or do you mean this season?
When the season ends for me, maybe finishing fourth, maybe potentially fifth, depending on how far English team goes in the competition, in the Europa competition, depending on how far they can go. That's only if they can help, because if you look at the top two, City, Arsenal, then maybe Liverpool, maybe City, Arsenal, Liverpool, then that fourth for me is open. Whoever is ready to pick it up will pick it up. So it all depends on the consistency and how many matches you can win. So it depends. And I think what can help them smoothen this is a UCL, because if you have a UCL, then you can easily generate more revenue. But again, to generate more revenue, you need to leave that Stamford Bridge. I've been saying it for a very long time. You need to live there.
so as long as we leave Stamford Bridge,
just blow it up.
Chelsea
That's the big
are
problem.
going to be like. Actually, what do you have against Stamford Bridge? Now I know it's not the greatest team in the world. What do you have against the Bridge?
Okay, let me talk. Okay, hold on. Let me talk.
This guy really hates this stadium, man.
Leave that Stamford Bridge.
The match going fans piss me off when it comes to when they talk about the bridge and everything. And also, if you look at the bridge, in terms of revenue and commercial value, we are very poor. So we know the ownership we have, that they prioritize revenue, they prioritize commercial. So if they're gonna prioritize that, you need the biggest stadium to do that. City has 60 plus, Arsenal 60 plus, Tottenham Hotspur 60 plus, West Ham United 60 plus, Everton Football Club has 60 plus, Chelsea Football Club, you call it two-time champion, this that Premier League that, legitimate UCL, we only have 40 plus stadium. That's a shame. That is a shame.
So 18,000 people, you think is going to make a difference?
No, what I'm saying is, with the ownership we have right now, they easily prioritize revenues and everything, which is what they do a lot in terms of promoting more revenue and more commercial. That can also help them in terms of making more profit.
But Abdullah, like, they've started 2 seasons without a shirt sponsor.
I know.
So do they even know what they're doing?
That's what the problem with it. That's what I'm saying. The fight between the board ministers and the board, it should not translate for the players.
They were complaining that Abramovich wasn't taking advantage of all of the commercial opportunities, and like it was a backward system that they were up to.
Yes.
They haven't had a kit sponsor. Infinite Athlete came very late, and they've started this season without a kit sponsor. So
exactly.
It just shows that there's disarray and dysfunction, but
Yes.
It's a mess.
And the problem is you can't have
Words of Trump.
the problem with this with the ownership, with Clearlake Capital and Boehly, the problem is the two of them are not aligning together. That's my issue with it. Right?
What does the future hold, my friend? We know that they're arguing. What does the future hold? What's the resolution?
It's very simple. We need one ownership, not two conceptions, just one owner, one voice.
Dictator.
So, and well, if you're saying one, then that's surely I started into a consortium of bankers from Switzerland.
No. You need
Wait, hold up. Wait a minute. So all this time you say Clearlake. Now you say we need one voice. We need a Saddam Hussein.
No.
How are you going to have one voice when Clearlake is a consortium and those are who you want to take over?
Clearlake Capital is a private security. It is different than Todd Boehly. Todd Boehly is a minority shareholder who has partnership around him. Clearlake, Boehly and Felicianos is a private equity. That's private equity. That's one person. It's different than Todd Boehly, who has multiple people around him. So if it's gonna be Clearlake Capital, we know it's one person. He has the people.
Wait. How do you know it's one person? It's a consortium.
It is different than Todd Boehly. What I'm saying is when I'm talking about
no. He says if it's Clearlake is a consortium. It's a committee. It's not one person. It's a group.
That's what I'm saying. It's committee, but you know the face of it, which is gonna be two co-founder, which is Boehly and Felicianos, who are like private equity. So it's different than when you have Todd Boehly, who has multiple.
You might need to drop the brick.
Yeah.
Damn bloody fool.
Abdullahi, bro.
Abdullahi, it's a consortium. It's a committee. There is no face. There's no one voice. It's a group.
Yeah,
it's a group.
It's a group, bro.
It's a group.
But see, I think Abdullahi thinks that Egbali will be the one man that's the voice. That's the spokesperson of the group.
And how can you give me assurances that he's going to be the one voice that people listen to?
I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing from him. And then I'm hearing Boehly will be the one person on the other side. So between Egbali and Boehly, who does he trust more? Egbali. I think Boehly is probably the better way because he at least has a sporting background. But again, they're two bad options. Two wings on the same bird.
Look, guys, seriously, I didn't say headers because I am actually nursing a cold man. Guys, was one night only now. If Lampard returns, we'll be returned. So the only time we return is if
I thought it was JT. I thought it was JT. If JT returns,
no. If JT returns, I'm done. I'm going to the Caribbean to retire, bro. Guys, it's been swell. We will see you whenever.
When we see you.
One love.
Peace, guys.